Do you wish you could go up the stairs like you used to, without pain, without hesitation? So there are two main reasons why you're starting to get pain when you're climbing stairs. So number one, you lose the ability to stand on one leg. And this is what you need to do when you're climbing stairs. You need the ability to be able to balance on one leg. The second reason why you might struggle with climbing stairs is that you lose the strength or the power in your leg muscles, particularly in your quadricep and your glutes. Okay, so in this video today, we're going to show you 4 exercises that will address both of these issues. Guys, I'm Alex Blażewski. I'm a physiotherapist with 21 years experience in private practice.
I'm Gavin. Alex and I co-own New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40, and I've been a personal trainer for the last 13 years, and everybody we help is 40 and above, and many people that come to us struggle with knee pain and walking upstairs. So with these videos, these exercises, we're going to break them down into 3 special components. We're going to build the foundation first to allow you to have the strength to stand on one leg. Then we're going to give you some leg strengthening exercises, and then the last thing, we're going to give you something specific. So to be good at walking upstairs, you've got to practice that kind of movement, right? So we're going to give you some of those exercises. So let's just jump into the gym and we'll get these exercises done.
So the first exercise we're going to do is called glute med clamps, okay? So Gavin here is lying on his side. His knees are bent at 90 degrees. And now the reason why we do this exercise, it helps to strengthen the gluteus medius muscle, which is right here on the side of the hip. Now, gluteus medius muscle, what its function is to help to keep you upright. So it helps you stand and balance on one single leg. And as we said before, it's very important to be able to stand on one leg when you're climbing stairs, because you have to push yourself through that leg to get yourself up. Okay, so what you do with this exercise, lying on your side, knees bent, you're going to keep your feet together, and I'm going to ask Gavin to lift your left leg. In this case, you're going to lift it up nice and slow, as far as you can. Don't wrench your hip, just as far as you feel comfortable, and then slowly, in a controlled way, lower it back down. Okay, so do it again. So bring your knee up and then slowly lower it down. Now, after a few reps, you're going to feel a bit of a pressure or maybe a bit of fatigue in this muscle on the side of the hip right there. Now, there's a good chance that if you're reasonably strong, the old version that I just showed you is a bit too easy. Okay, so if you can get to 15 reps and it still feels like you could easily do a few more, then you need to make it a little bit harder. So you're going to get a little bit of a loop of a rubber band. Okay, so you're going to loop it around your knees, just above the knees. Okay, now what you're going to do is exactly the same. So you're trying to make it a little bit harder. So now you're doing exactly the same exercise, but with the resistance of the band. Okay, so Gavin is just doing exactly the same thing, feet together. He's lifting his left knee up and then slowly bringing it back down. Does it feel a bit harder? Yeah, cool. And you can adjust the tension in the band. So if it still feels easy, just make it tighter, and that makes the exercise a little bit harder.
All right, so that's going to sort of build a foundation, stabilize the hip, and allow you to obviously stand on one leg. Now what we need to do, we need to sort of work on the major muscles of the legs, okay? So we're going to work on the quads. And the way we do this, we find a really nice simple way to do something called a sit-to-stand or a box squat. I'm going to show you a couple of versions as well. So Alex is going to sit in the chair and face the wall over there, put his hands across the front of his chest this way, and he's going to widen his stance a little bit. And I'll show you a front version in a sec. And all Alex is going to do, he's going to look up into the corner of the room, he's going to roll his weight onto the mid-foot and his heel, and he's going to stand straight up off the chair. So just do that for me. Great. And sit back down again. And what you'll notice with Alex as well, as he does it, he's going to do about 3 or 4 for me. When he comes back, his hips come back first and his knees sort of are the last joint to bend. And that just makes sure that we're hitting the squat in the right squat pattern, and you're going to be hitting the quads and not putting any force through those knees. Now I'm going to turn the chair around, now it's going to face the camera. So there we go, sit down that way. So from the front, you can see that his legs are nice wide apart. His toes are pointing out just slightly. He's looking up, his chest is nice and tall, and he's standing up. Now, Alex is going to stand straight up off the chair for me. Now, if that's too hard, for some people with knee pain, you can't actually get down that far, right? So there is a little bit of a modification we can do. I'm going to turn the chair on its side. Now remember, this is quite a flimsy chair, so you do need something a bit sturdier if you're going to do this. Alex is going to do the same hip hinge back, but he's going to touch the arm of the chair, and he's going to stand back up again. Okay, so this is like a shorter squat. So some people will have knee pain at the bottom. This way he's still able to load the major muscles of his leg, the quads, and hopefully minimize that knee pain. So he's gonna do one more of those for me. Now you might find that from this height is actually quite easy. So what we're gonna do then, we're gonna add a dumbbell. So you're gonna hold that in front of your body, like a goblet in front of your body. So this way now he's using a less range of movement, but we need to load it anyway. So you do the same thing, come back up, and it's gonna be a little bit harder for you, right? So in terms of rep ranges, we want about 12 to 15 reps. We wanna make sure that the last couple of reps are hard. So 12, 13, 14, 15, they start to get quite challenging. You can stop there, Alex, you have massive legs, all right? So, because if you don't sort of work into that end range of difficulty, you're not really gonna get the muscle adaptation that you want, you're not gonna get stronger. So you can push into 12 to 15, making them nice and hard at the end.
Exercise number 3. This time we're going to target the gluteus maximus muscle, which is basically your main buttock muscle, the bulky muscle at the back of your hip, okay? And this muscle is also very important for you to be able to push yourself up, to be able to climb stairs, okay? So this is what we're going to do. The exercise is called glute bridges. You might have possibly done it before, but let's go through it anyway. So Gavin is lying here with feet flat on the floor, knees bent at roughly about 90 degrees. And now before we do anything else, I'm going to ask Gavin to clench his buttock muscles, okay? So just tighten those muscles at the back, keep them nice and tight, and then I want you to try and push through those, push through the glutes and lift your hips up. Now, ideally, if you can, try and keep your body straight. So from the knees up, your body should be in a straight line, okay? Now, if you're not strong enough to go up to that position, that's okay. Do what you can. If you can only go halfway up, that's fine. Do what you can, all right? So this time you're going to hold it for 5 seconds. So count to 5 and then slowly lower yourself down, okay? Cool. Give it about 5-second break, rest, and then clench your buttock muscles again, and then lift your hips up to a straight position, okay? So repeat about 10 to 12 of these, okay? And do 2 or 3 sets of these exercises. Now, if you are reasonably strong and you want to make it a little bit harder, what you do is you hold a weight. So maybe start from 4 or 5 kilos. You're going to hold it just kind of around your thigh area, okay? So Gavin is kind of placing it between his thighs, and you're going to do exactly the same thing. So you're going to clench your buttock muscles, lift up, but this time the weight is going to make it a little bit harder for you, okay? So 5-second hold, then Gavin is going to go back down, 5-second break, and then he's going to do it again, okay? So at the end of your set, you should feel a bit of fatigue in your glute area at the back here.
Okay, so now we're going to be looking at doing more like stepping specificity, because to be good at any kind of movement pattern, you got to practice that movement pattern, okay? So when stepping up to a stairs, you may find normal stairs being a bit challenging, right? Which is the thing. But to train it, we can actually use lower steps. So I've got 2 plates here and I've got a little step there. And like reality of it is, we could even start on a really small step. So Alex is going to place 1 foot on the step that way. And what I like to do this is, as he stands up, he's going to drive his foot down and bring his knee up a little bit. Now that when his knee up is that way, his glute med is engaged, like we talked about at the beginning. Now as he steps back down again, he's working on his balance. He can do it again. Lift back up again. Okay, he's working on the quad strength and the actual movement pattern as we do it. So if that is a little bit too easy for you, you might want to add maybe another little bit of height. So you could use, I don't know, books or steps or whatever, and do exactly the same thing. And make sure you're doing 12 to 15 reps on each side. And if you struggle with this balance, then you could have like a chair or do it near a wall where you can hold on as well, just to get you that right. Come back up again and step back down. And the reason we do it this way is that when Alex leaves his foot back on the plate there, you can see that his knee is still behind his ankle like we did with the squat. So that's really important when you start doing these steps and squats, right? And we replace with a step, and this is a bit more challenging. So Alex will do exactly the same thing. 1 foot on, drive it up, slowly take it back down. Okay, so that's how you can practice the actual stepping and the progressions that you use. Again, you could add weight to it, but we're not going to do that today. So that's going to be it. That's going to be our 4 exercises that we do. So if you're looking for a full knee guide, a full workout that Alex and I put together, where we obviously blend two components of physiotherapy and strengthening, all you need to do is comment knees down below and we will send you a free knee strengthening guide absolutely free. Now we're going to leave a video in the top left hand corner which I think you're going to like, so head over to that video and we'll see you over there.